What's up guys, hope you're having an amazing day. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something completely different. I've never actually done it before. I'm going to be comparing three different shoes together: the Nike Mile Reacts, the Nike Infinity Runs, and the Nike Pegasus 37s.
Stay down with the game. I got no time for the drama, but they won't talk on my name now. Enemies wanna be friends with me. No, there ain't no way now. Boy, you should've just stayed down. No, there ain't no way now. I just be in my own lane now. Stay with the gang.
So as you guys probably know, I've been doing videos about all of these shoes separately. I've done a video about every single one of these shoes. I've done reviews about all these shoes. I've even compared them in a couple videos, but today I'm going to be comparing them all together. The reason I chose these three shoes is because these are the three most popular Nike shoes that have came out in 2020. We have the Nike Infinity Reacts right here that came out a couple months ago. These were the first shoes that come out of 2020, the first really popular running shoe to come out of 2020 that Nike made. The next shoe that Nike produced was the Nike Pegasus 37s. This was the next shoe that was super popular that Nike produced this year. It is the 37th pair of the #1 selling Nike shoe that is available, and this is the Nike React Milers. It is the newest shoe that Nike created. It is one of the newest shoes that Nike has created, and it is one of the most popular shoes of 2020 that Nike has created. Now, all of these shoes together have so many differences, but there are also some similarities between these shoes. The biggest similarity is that they all have the same exact foam. They all have the Nike React foam. The Nike React foam is a very lightweight foam and very durable foam that's going to last you many of miles. Now, it kind of competes with the Zoom X foam that a lot of Nike racing shoes have, but this foam is a lot more strong and a lot more durable, and it's going to last a lot longer than the Zoom X foam. And another thing that these two shoes share is that they have a 10mm heel drop. The Nike Pegasus has always had a 10mm heel drop, and they added a 10mm drop on these shoes as well. But the heel drop for the Nike Infinity Runs is a little bit different. It's a little bit lower at 8.4. Now, I'm really not sure why they made the heel drop less than the Pegasus and the Nike React Milers, but I'm sure they had a very good reason, considering the fact that they spent millions of dollars on this shoe to make it a super good shoe and a shoe that's going to reduce your injury, because Nike did do tests with their athletes, and they actually came to the conclusion that 52% of their athletes said that this shoe reduced injury to them. And now we're going to talk about some of the differences between these shoes. So this is definitely the most expensive out of the three shoes. It costs $160, which is quite a lot of money for a pair of running shoes, but they do last a lot. So you're probably going to get a good mile to dollar ratio on these shoes. The next most expensive shoe I have right here is the Nike React Milers. These shoes cost $130, which is a little bit more than the Pegasus, but a little bit less than the Nike Infinity Reacts. And the last shoe I have right here is the cheapest shoe, the Nike Pegasus 37s. This shoe costs $120. All the Pegasus when they come out cost $120, so that's probably why these cost $120. And now we're going to talk about how comfortable these shoes are while running. I rated all these shoes 0 to 10 on how comfortable these are, and these are definitely the lowest. I gave them a 7 out of 10. They're not the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. They're very comfortable up here on the top, but I do really like when shoes come with a good arch, just like the Infinity Runs. Another thing I kind of had a little bit of a problem with was the heel. I didn't have very much heel slippage, but my heel didn't feel very good in it. It was rubbing up against the bag, and it kind of gave me a small blister. And the next shoe I have was the Nike React Milers. I give it an 8 out of 10. There seemed to be a very lot of space in the toe box right here, but right here the shoe felt very narrow. I'm not really sure why they were super narrow, but they weren't as comfortable as I was expecting them to be. And one of the things I really didn't like about the tongue was the tongue was super thin. The tongue was a little bit comfortable, but the shape of the tongue is pretty weird. I don't know what they're trying to do right here. It kind of looks like a 3-leaf clover, but I'm really not feeling that tongue right there. But everything else besides that was good. The heel was good, the cushion was good, and it was an all-around good shoe. And lastly is the Nike Infinity Runs, the most comfortable shoe I've ever put on my feet. I give it a 9 out of 10. There are some things that this shoe could change to make it a little bit more comfortable, but first I'm going to talk about the reasons why these shoes are super comfortable. So the biggest reason I like these shoes and I fell in love with these shoes is because the arch was perfect for my feet. This is like the only shoe I've ever had that I've ever worn that I've really had no problems in the first 100 miles that I wore them. I remember the first time I went into the store and put these shoes on, I knew they were going to be a very good shoe right from the start. The shoe is very comfortable, very lightweight, the foam is very good, and just the build of the shoe is incredible. The fine material is super nice and it wraps around your feet super snugly. The bottom of the shoe is super wide, so every time you land, it gets a super strong and firm landing. That's probably the main reason that this shoe decreases injury when you're running in it, is because it has such a wide bottom, so whenever it lands, it doesn't wobble and your feet don't move. Because when your feet move back and forth like that when you land, it kind of causes injury in your lower legs. And my tongue for this shoe is definitely my favorite. All you do is you pull it up when you put the shoe on, and it feels very great. Now, the only thing that stopped me from giving this shoe a 10 out of 10 is how hot my feet get when I'm running in these shoes. It doesn't matter if it's a hot day or a cold day. Whenever I'm running in these shoes, my feet get super warm, and the longer I run in these shoes, the hotter my feet get. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to figure out something to do with these shoes when I start to wear them. So now we're gonna talk about responsiveness with shoes. I put these shoes on the most responsive side of things comparing these three shoes. These are tied for the most responsive. They're a very good shoe, and every time you step, you can feel the responsiveness coming out of the shoe, and you can pretty much just feel the energy return propelling propelling you forward. Now with this shoe, there's not very much bounce, so you really don't feel the energy return, and it's a very comfortable shoe, but you really do not feel the energy return at all. That's why this is definitely the least out of the 3 shoes with energy return. There's no air pocket in this shoe, and it has a very normal build, kind of like a shoe you'd see, walking into any normal store. So yeah, there's pretty much nothing special about how this shoe looks. Speaking of looks, that's going to be the last thing we're talking about today. I think the Nike Infinity Runs are definitely the best looking shoe out of the bunch, and one of the reasons I think that they're the best looking shoe is because Nike has not made any other shoe that looks like this shoe, as where the Pegasus 37s are kind of like a repeat of the previous year. To be honest, my favorite Pegasus is the Pegasus 33s based off of looks. I think they're the sharpest Pegasus, and I think they look better than the Pegasus 37. There's also not many colorways on the Pegasus 37s. I think you can get maybe 5 to 6 different colorways, but on the Nike Infinity Runs, there's over 15 different colorways that you can choose for these shoes. And same for the Nike React Milers. These are definitely the ugliest shoes of the bunch. They kind of just look like a plain and simple shoe. Nothing special about these shoes. They kind of look like the shoe that I wore in elementary school, like the free runs or something like that. Yeah, I'm really not sure, but these shoes have nothing special going on with them. Kind of a plain shoe, a plain color, and everything about this shoe is pretty much plain. But still, that does not take away from the fact that this shoe is a great shoe to run in. So yeah, I'm pretty much just going to be ending the video right here. I got some very exciting stuff coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm pretty sure I'm starting a vending machine company, so make sure you stay tuned for some future how to make money videos. I will see you guys next time. Stay safe and stay blessed.